Good day. This is going to be a recording to discuss your second essay assignment and also to review some details about writing the argument, the writing process, how to go about revising an essay before you submit one. So we're going to actually start with the writing process. We want to go back over and review some of those details. Currently on the screen, you'll see the second essay assignment and details that are offered there. You'll see right here, I have pulled down for us the Purdue OWL formatting guide. And if you click on it, you'll see some details about what that offers. And if you'll click on the link, it takes you to Purdue University, which has an online writing lab, the OWL. And in this, it talks about general formatting for any MLA essay. So you are asked to use MLA format. You can consult the MLA Handbook, 9th edition. I have details about the 8th edition for you up there. The difference between the 8th and 9th is very minimal. It basically refers to the change was in how to do your citations, and I cover that in a different part. But the paper format, this is something we need to make sure that you understand. When you're ready to format your essay, you're going to sit down and type it. If you have not altered any of the margins or any of the other settings on your Word document, whether you're using Microsoft Word or Pages or some other Word document, then you're going to not have to worry about some of these. But here's some areas you need to keep in mind. You're going to not have to worry about printing out your essay. You're not going to have to worry about this part. But you're going to type it, hopefully, on your computer, your laptop. I do not recommend trying to use your phone. Although some people have tried that. That just does not work that well. Rather, you want to type on your computer, open up your Word document, double space the text of your essay using a font. In your handout for the assignment, I list which fonts are really the acceptable ones. 12 font is for Times New Roman. 11 is for Calibri because that's what it's defaulted to. With Courier New, you typically want to go with 10 font because it's a little big. You're going to leave a space after periods and other punctuation marks. Margins are set, which you do not have to bother with if you have not in any way altered your margins. When you get ready for your first paragraph, you hit the tab button, and it tabs over for each paragraph. That means every paragraph is tabbed over. For some of you, your first essay, your formatting, you presented a document as if it were a business letter in which you kept everything blocked. People, that's not how you write an essay. Formatting of an essay, and hopefully you learned this when you were very young. When you have paragraphs, the first line of every paragraph is tabbed over. It is indented. You're supposed to indent the first line of every paragraph. Hit the tab button. You ought to create a header for your pages. In order to do that, I'm going to try to open this up for you, see if I can get the screen to open up. Hopefully you're seeing the document here. And again, you just go through, and there are different ones you can look at. I'm going to try to raise this just a little bit, see if I can get the framing just a little bit up to, yeah, that may be a little bit better. And so when you go to your home page of your Word document, there are different things you can do. You can see all the different parts up here. One of the first things you want to do is go here to paragraph setting. All this should be set at 0. You want to change this to double. And you want to click Do Not Add Space Between Paragraphs. So that's okay. You can actually set that as your default. And so you hit OK. Then you're going to go here and hit Insert, and you'll see up here, Header. And it lets you choose which type of header you want. So you have that one. And what you want to do is align it to the right. And then you simply type in name. And put your number here. And then what it will also do is allow you to do different ones if you want to, but you don't really need to do that. But you're going to fix all those. Page numbering. You do it here. And then put your name again. And click on your document, and there you go. Then you put your heading, which will be your name. We'll just go ahead and put Professor Reed. Oops, this didn't hit. Okay, there we go. And then English, 1301, and then the date. Then you come here, and then you're going to go center and put title of essay, enter, and go back to the left margin. Hit your tab button. Let me get that full paragraph. The next lines of the paragraph will be against the left margin. And if you'll note, it did that for you. So that's how your opening and every other paragraph will look. So then when you begin your next paragraph, you hit the tab button and say, begin next paragraph. Maintain the proper paragraph structure throughout the essay so that your formatting conforms to the MLA standard. And so there you go. That's how yours is going to look. Or at least that's how it should look. Of course, you're going to have much more developed paragraphs than those, but that's how the impression should be for you. So again, it tells you, hopefully this is on your screen again, you're going to create your header, you're going to use italics, if you're going to have titles of longer works, we're not going to worry so much about that one. No title page, upper left corner you have, as it says here, list your name, your instructor's name, the course, and the date, which we just did, double space your text, center your title. Do not underline or italicize or place it. Use the standard font that you're using for your essay. Double space between the title and next line, which is what we did. Create your header, which we did. And then they show you how that first page should look, and there's the detail for you. So you have this in what you need. Now they go and talk about section headings. Sometimes you'll use that, but you're not going to do that for this one. That's only if you have a lengthy technical paper. We're not going to be doing headings. We don't need section headings. You're writing one continuous essay. So the MLA formatting is available for you through the Purdue OWL, and I have that posted again for you here underneath the details about argument with examples and formatting standards. Again, revising, I have again the University of North Carolina Writing Center comments about how to revise an essay. I have also, again, for you, questions you should ask yourself as you're assessing your essay. And again, points that you need to consider, points that you need to think about as you're looking over your overall essay and apply it to your own work. And then the next part is the example of the counter-argument, how you go about doing that and how that gets included so that you understand what that involves. So again, that's set up for you in the module for the second essay. I've also provided for you resources for research. Your topic this time, and I'm going to go down here to the assignments. You'll see that you had a grammar assignment. Most of you did that one. I think all of you did it. This is the second essay assignment. The formatting is the same on the handout as the previous one. But I do want to emphasize certain points. You're developing an argument, so you're developing an approach that's reasonable, that is discussed from a perspective of study and research. You need to have facts, information linked to the situation. You can use personal experience if they are pertinent and can be directly applied to the topic. And then examples, real examples, not any hypotheticals. People, you cannot say imagine if, and you never want to use imagine anyway. If some people do this. Well, folks, hypotheticals do not work in an argument. You cannot use anything that is hypothetical. That's not real. Hence why I have real examples. Do not offer a pretend situation that could occur. You have to use examples that have happened and how that applies to the topic. Again, I've talked about content format very briefly, but I do want to address this. As you argue, use present tense. And as you offer for a formal essay, academic purposes, you do not use personal comments unless it's one of these personal examples that you have that is applicable to the topic. You do not use we. Do not try to include the reader as part of your argument. You are to look at the topic in an objective manner, analyze that one from the position of a reasonable discussion, and do not try to tell the reader what to do. Do not use imperative forms, whether you have the implied you as the subject, and do not use you in the essay, saying you will see this, or you will understand, or you can recognize, or as you know. No, I'm not going to do that. Don't do that. There's no you. It's not a conversation. It is an objective discussion of facts, details, statistics to draw a conclusion. You have to maintain that formal attitude. It is a formal writing, not a casual conversation with somebody. Your topic for this one concerns an issue that was discussed extensively in the spring time and into the summer here in the state of Texas regarding what are called education savings accounts, but also referred to as school vouchers or school choice. Those are parts of it. So I have this mentioned to you that should Texas establish such programs to allow students to use state funds to pay for their children's private school, online school, or even private tutors. It's been considered by Governor Abbott and other members, especially the GOP, that has listed as a legislative priority. They're the ones that have, these names here and this group here are really the ones who have looked at this. It's school choice is used as the term for this program. School vouchers are also used. State Representative Mays offered this one, and you can actually click on this and open it in a new tab. If I can get this to open, let me lower that for right now, and there it is. So I have a link set up for you, and so this is what was proposed. This is how a bill looks, in case you're wondering. And you'll see the details about it. I'm not going to read it to you. You can do that for you. But part of what it does, it says that any child is eligible to participate if the child is. It tells you who's eligible for it. And it talks about each certified educational assistant organization shall create an application form. And then it goes on and talks about other aspects to it. And it talks about the trustee of an account, because an account being set up, that's what the topic looks at. You can see that it goes on. That's why I'm not going to read it to you. It goes on for some lengthy details. I'm just going to go down to the end of it if I can get to it very smoothly here. Yeah, there you go. And this act will take effect January 1st, 2024. Is the plan that they had for it. And it offers a comment. It's called the Texas Parental Empowerment Program, is what they're wanting to call it. And so you have that particular link as well. And so what you're going to need to do is look at the current law in Texas regarding funding of schools. You'll need to research this. You need to keep in mind that your opinion doesn't count. And your opinion is going to lead you to a side, but it's not your opinion that you present. You have to look and see whether there's actually an issue. There is an issue with this topic. You want to make sure you do have a statement of position on it, that you're taking a logical approach to it and offering a position. You have to have reasons. As it says here, solid, substantial reasons to support it. That means in your research, you have to find details, information. You have to make sure that you've connected the support, that evidence you have found, to the position you're supporting. You have to show how the evidence actually supports the point that you're making. Use good essay form, and we're going to talk about that here in a moment. Introduction, clear transition, strong conclusion, consistent tone, and then again the length, 800 to 1,000 words. This is much more typical. You don't want to try to be too broad, but you don't want to be too narrow. And so this is a reasonable length. If you need to go longer, you can. You need to keep in mind that you are offering reasons you can prove. Evidence is necessary. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said just a moment ago, opinions do not count. How you feel, what you believe personally, does not count. Rather, your opinion will lead you to decide, but then you have to be able to support that side. Another key point, plagiarism is not accepted. All material drawn from sources must be cited. For this first essay, some of you listed some sources on your works cited page, but throughout your essay you do not cite them. Well, folks, any information drawn from a source, whether you quote it directly, you paraphrase it, or you summarize it, has to be cited. That information has to have a credit link where that information came from. Failing to do so actually constitutes plagiarism. Also, the use of any AI-generated writing is not allowed. I had this in the first essay. It's mentioned elsewhere in the course, but you're not allowed to do this. So do not use AI generators. The essay instead must be composed by you. Any essay that is wholly or partially, that means at Turnitin we have an AI detector, and it will tell you the percentage. And folks, that's not allowed. So any essay that has wholly or partially made up of AI-generated text, that has any of that in it, will be considered academic dishonesty. It will be subjected into the terms of plagiarism, which means failing on the assignment, and the second offense, failing for the course. So please do not turn to any of these AI generators, such as ChatGPT or any of the other ones, to try to generate information for your topic. It just doesn't work, folks. Not allowed to do that. For most of you, that did not occur. For a few of you, you took a shortcut, I guess we can say, and that's not allowed. And so, again, no plagiarism, cite your information, do not use artificial intelligence. So a couple of points you want to look at, and again, I'll give you an idea of how it should look, just as we were just showing you. Note that the title is centered, that the first line of the paragraph is indented once. Notice it's tabbed over. Other lines go against the left margin, as I was just showing you. The essay is double-spaced, as I was just showing you, and no extra space in between paragraphs. Folks, when you do that, you're not following proper format, and as a result, your format scoring on the rubric, and I'll show you the rubric again in a moment, will be low. So again, as you develop your essay, you want to keep these points in mind. You have to have points, reasons. There should be multiple reasons that you're going to use to discuss and to explain your position. Your thesis is going to give an indication. That means in your introduction, whether it's one paragraph or two, your thesis will give an indication what those points, what those reasons are going to involve. You're then going to use those points to organize the rest of your essay to help to create an examination of the key points, key evidence, and explain how that evidence fits. You're then going to structure it all the way through. Use the outline that's available at Canvas, and again, I'm going to show you that one. Under your modules, bear with me just a moment as it jumps up. Under the writing process, you had argumentative essay format. And in this handout, it shows you introduction, what's involved in the introduction, what you're required to have in the introduction, how you need to help to develop that introduction, then what needs to go into a supporting evidence. This would be like point number 1, your first major point, what needs to go into it, how that should be structured, having a topic sentence for a paragraph where you present the idea that paragraph will develop, explain how it fits toward the overall essay, that's part of it, introduce evidence that's going to be used to develop this key point, state what the evidence is, then explain the evidence, how it connects to the point and connects to the overriding issue. Conclude that, wrap that idea up, and transition into the next one, and then what's called the shampoo method, rinse and repeat, or just repeat the same format for your next several paragraphs as this is structured. So that gives you an idea of how you structure your essay. We're going to go back to the essay topic again. We'll zoom that just a little bit. And so again, that gives you an idea of what you need to do, how you can structure it. Then, evidence must be presented, and you have to have at least one piece of evidence, folks, for every major point you bring up. General comments do not count as evidence. Specific details, facts, the studies from researchers, that's fine to use, but don't just say a study has. Well, which study? Don't say that researchers have shown. Which researchers? Who were they? When was this research conducted? Who conducted it? And do not say many people believe. We don't care what people believe. What do we know? And who are these many and how many are there? You cannot use general comments like that in an argument. Those do not work. They do not count as evidence. Rather, evidence will be statistics that link to the point, facts that link to the point, direct quotation from someone who is knowledgeable and what is called an expert in the field. Those are the ones you have to use. And then, of course, what you have to do once you present the evidence, as I was just looking at the outline, you have to discuss it. You need to explain how it conforms, it fits the point, how it fits the overall argument. You have to explain how the idea is relevant. And you have to develop the idea from the perspective where you are offering an analysis of the evidence. Not just, here's the evidence and then move on. It's not enough to present the evidence. You have to write, this is where the bulk of the essay is, you have to write the connection, the evidence to the point. That's what you need to do. So again, these are ideas that you need to keep in mind. You'll note that the date has altered a little bit. I'll give you a little extra time. It's 2 weeks now for this one, when this essay is coming due. Believe it or not, Canvas has had some issues. We just received a message, in fact, just a few moments ago, in which they said, yes, we're aware Canvas is having issues and people are not able to get in. So I realized we may have had some issues, so I adjusted the date just a little bit. So we have till the 19th now, and that's when the essay is to come in. I put 11 o'clock. It actually goes till midnight, but I put 11 so that you're not waiting till the very last moment trying to get your essay in. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it will be about a week from submission till you get your essays graded. I try to get them graded as quickly as possible, but typically, as with this time, I had 4 different courses all submitting essays at the same time. So I had a number of essays that I had to deal with all at once, and I was trying to go through certain classes that I knew I was trying to get done because I have a Tuesday, Thursday class. I was trying to get there so they would see their work. So they were able to get their comments and could ask me the next time we had a class. I have a Monday, Wednesday class. So I was trying to get theirs taken care of so they could ask me questions and when they saw me face to face. And then, of course, I had your essays online that I was trying to get graded and get those taken care of. So again, usually it's going to be about a week from the time that the essays come in the due date till a time that I'll have them finished. Sometimes it's a little faster, sometimes it's not. Please do not expect that if you submit your essay that I'll have it graded by the next day. It doesn't quite work that way, but I will try to get to them as quickly as I can and get through them as smoothly as I can. But it does take some time to read through an essay, to mark the essay, to offer comments on the essay. And so again, on the 19th, it comes in. By the 26th, your essay should be graded, and you should have the opportunity to see the feedback there. And that's the next thing we're going to talk about before we go back into the writing process. I want to make sure you understand about looking for the feedback on the essay. And again, I have for you under the Start Here module, because I want you to be aware of that from the beginning of the semester, how you locate feedback on essays. Here's the explanation of what you need to do. You go to grades. I cannot do that because I'll be showing all of your grades. Can't do that, but you go to grades. You find the assignment, such as first essay. Click on it. The screen will open to your first essay. You'll see a little percentage bubble. Click on it. You'll open up your essay and turn it in, and you'll see a blue speech bubble on the right-hand side. There's some other ones as well. Click on the blue, and you'll see a number of different listings there, and the marks will be there. You can access the comment that I type up for you. You'll see all the different remarks that are available for you to look at. So that's how you find your feedback. So now we want to go back and talk a little about the writing process and what it means to revise an essay. And this is some of the issues we've had with Canvas. I clicked on that and it didn't work. So let's click again. There we go. Sometimes it's going to be a matter of 2 clicks. When you go through the writing process, one of the key aspects is that making sure that you know the difference between argument and persuasion. Ladies and gentlemen, when you start trying to tell people what to do, and when you start trying to tell people to imagine something, or when you start using questions, say, isn't this just something, or what about this? Who wouldn't want to do this? You're not arguing. You really aren't. That's not how you argue, folks. You argue by offering facts, reasons, and evidence. You have to have logical discussions. When you appeal to people's senses and feelings, you're in persuasion. And we're not writing persuasively. We're writing argumentative examples. You're going to look at details. You're going to provide evidence that will structure and be proposed to the claim. You are not to use emotionally charged language. And ladies and gentlemen, do not use imperative tones in which you tell the reader, imagine or do this. Do not treat your essay as if it's an advice column. You're not giving advice to people. You're looking at an issue. You're making a decision about the issue, and you're explaining how the decision you made is reasonable. That's an argument. So in the case of school vouchers or educational funding, you're going to decide, should Texas do this? And if you agree that Texas should, then that's the position you're taking. Well, what reasons do you have for that? And you need to have, good sound reasoning. So, that establishing, accounts for students allows parents to select what schools their students get to go to. It allows for students to be able to receive an education in a certain manner, certain direction. It allows a stronger parental control of what students learn. Maybe those are reasons you believe are important. Again, your opinion, your belief will inform you into which direction you're going to go, but the facts have to be used. So you want to make sure you're looking at those details. So again, this is what you have to keep in mind, that when you're writing, you're not to use certain, what are sometimes referred to as rhetorical techniques. We're not persuasively, folks. We're not doing that. Again, avoiding plagiarism. This handout, little video, goes into what you need to do, how you need to avoid that. So please make sure you've watched that. You're supposed to already watch this video. And the idea about avoiding the use of AI-generated material in college writing. This is where I had this posted for you, that you're not supposed to be doing this. And again, if you'll notice, this was under the writing process, and this was something you're supposed to have already read, that you're supposed to recognize and agree to. And so again, had the video about the writing process. Hopefully you did watch that one, in which I discussed all those. So now, when we come back down here, you'll see that I do have for you, on the topic that we've looked at, that I do have for you some research already set up that you can look at. This is from procon.org, which is a reasonable asset. And so you click on that, and it opens up. For some reason, you go down. There you go. The top 4 pros and cons about school vouchers. That's another name for this, as we have it set up, about education savings accounts. And the topic, that's what it calls it. I'm just going to open that up again to show you the phrasing. Education savings accounts are what sometimes are called. Again, you'll see in that the bill that was proposed, it was an account where the money is going to be put over. You'll see school choice or school vouchers used. And so pro-con, the term school vouchers is used. This is basically the same point. And so you can see they give you some details here, and you can click here. It'll take you to the overview. And it's generating, moving slowly, but hopefully it's going to get there soon. Maybe. It tells you what school vouchers are here, and then certain states have programs, and that 2 have not. And again, it's still trying to call up the overview. Okay, well, it's not going to the overview. See if I can get that to load up later. But anyway, it gives you your 4 ideas of why they're favorable and 4 why they are not. See if I can get the school vouchers to open. I was doing the same thing here. Okay. It's not offering the overview as it typically does. Let's see if the discussion questions will open. And it's just doing the same thing here. Oh, here are the discussion questions. Okay. Down here. So again, questions to think about how they are. Here's Ed Choice. We talked about this one. Again, these give you some links. And if you click on that one, it just looks at some details about what are school vouchers, and there's a little video for it about the ones that provide it. You can look at those. The idea about the research that you can look at. Research again that you can look at. And then voucher facts. So you have some access to some of those. This will show you when you click on this one. Again, this is through procon.org. Some additional information that show you some of the details here that you can look at. And then this one is a commentary by these individuals. It's an article that was written by these individuals. And it's a little one-sided sometimes, but it offers you some remarks and some details and what they are. But it does talk about the voucher programs, the traditional ones. It tries to give you some facts about that as well. So there are some details there that you can use. And so you do have, under the that particular link, links to some other ones. This is for our points of view reference, and when you click on it, I have you the link here, and it's going to ask you to log in. I'm going to pull that down just a little bit so you can see. You just log in with your Canvas ID and password, click log in, and then the link will show. And what this does, it just gives you an overview, and the term school choice is used here. It's basically the same one. It just goes into details about what's involved, some terms that you need to understand, some of the history of school choice, school vouchers, how it's used elsewhere, and some other details. You'll also see down here the bibliography that EBSCO uses, and anytime, and you don't see too many of them, but anytime you see this blue, it's supposed to allow you to access that source. And so, here's the one that you can do, and it's not letting me get into it. It wants you to pay for a subscription to the New York Times. We're not going to do that. Occasionally, you can actually get into the link. At this time, it's not letting you. But the school choice from EBSCO is there for you to use. And points of view, excuse me, that was points of view reference. This is the one from EBSCO. This is the EBSCO one, excuse me. And it's set up in a similar manner, showing you some details and links. And this one also will have some aspects to look at as you go through it. I went through it very quickly there. But it gives you some details. And one thing about these sites, if you use information from any of these, we have a citation tool for you. You just find MLA. You can copy this and paste it onto your works cited page, and then occasionally has to be adjusted to conform to MLA standards, which does not take long to do. So let me go back to the previous one, because this was points of view. And the points of view, I'm going to show you that one. Under our library resources, we have what are called research databases. And when you put your cursor on, all these pop up. Again, I explained this before. But here's the points of view that we were looking at. That's what this one is. When you click on it, this is the points of view one. And it offers you, over on the side, about different perspectives on it. The idea about that they undermine public education, that it's the right decision. So you have the two sides offered and what you can look at. And you have other links as well, right here. And again, what they offer too is a citation tool. Again, just clicking on that, finding the MLA one, copying that, and using it. So that's available for you as well. And so you don't have to worry about how much information, what you should include. And so then we have links about this one, about how school vouchers actually impact college enrollment. And again, citation tool is here. This is from our Gale group. There's a citation. Copy and pasting that one will give you the information you need. This is a little longer article, about 3,000 words, but offers some good details and comments about evidence about the college enrollments and how school vouchers actually impact colleges. Here are statistics, voucher impact. So there's your details, and here's a little graph that they include that you can read, and here's where the graph is explained. So you have that article. The next one that I have before you talks about how school vouchers, again, it's from our Gale group, doesn't always help that much, or it's not, it does not, as it says, act as a panacea. It's not a healing, and so you have that aspect too. Again, I have a number of these articles that this is the counterpoint to this, that does help to reform public schools. So, success here, details here, and that choice is good. So what I try to offer for you with these links to the sources, I try to offer you different views. So this is, can't help it, does help it, this says it fails to improve it. These are some other articles about the Education Savings Account. Click on the link here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that one doesn't offer. That was a working link. I'll try to figure out what happened to it. Sometimes articles get archived. I'll have to see if I can get that fixed. Let's see if this one opens. Yeah, this one does. I'll try to figure out what happened to that other article. This is talking about particularly in Texas, and how it has been used in Texas. The next one Also, looks at Texas schools and the details here. And again, you'll see that this one was from a couple of years ago. So it's the idea about education savings accounts, school vouchers, is not just something that was a one-time issue, just for the spring and summer. It's been discussed for a couple of years, actually more than just a couple of years, but have some details for you going back so you can look at it. This one, you'll notice, is from the spring. As I said, this was a topic that came up in the spring. And so you have from the spring of 2023 how some, as it says, rural Republicans are reacting to this. And so it gives you some details about that in this one, and how other states have reacted, and now how it's being responded to in Texas by other individuals, such as members of the House and Senate. And then this is the view about, again, 2023, the position that Governor Abbott had. You'll see that April you had a vote that was offered, and how that was done, that pops up. But you'll get this idea here from a position about Governor Abbott and his views about it, and they have comments set up. And so again, trying to give you some different perspectives, trying to give you some recent information, links to some recent information. And then this one is from the Texas Tribune, which offers a number of different aspects. And again, going back up here, what you need to know about education savings account. So here you go. Texas Tribune is a nonpartisan commentary about Texas and its politics especially. And so it just gives you some views on what this involves. And just offers what it is. And again, you actually can click on the different ones here. Again, like, is there a new idea? Well, here you go. It talks about some details. Why are they back? Why is it being considered? What can we expect? Again, if you'll note, this is an article from this spring. Because again, this was when the idea was advanced again, presented again, and discussed again. So I try to give you some fairly recent details. I'm sorry about the one dead link. I'm not sure what's happened to that. But you'll see that there are a number of different issues here that, in the sense of positions, are offered. And some of these are not live. They're supposed to be. We'll make these live for you. I'm not sure why those didn't get published. I'll try to check to see what's wrong with this one, about this link. But I have for you some different ones. And again, when you go to the points of view, for instance, we'll just go to that one again. You'll see that not only do you have the overview that's here, but you also have positions on it and some other links to other information about it. So literally you can click on this one. It'll open in a new window, and this one offers you a position about the topic in which it talks about it undermines. So this one would be against an education savings account plan. This one instead says it's the right choice, talking about school choice, and then education savings plan. So this one would offer information to support such views. Again, what you have available for you with these, you have the ability to offer, again, particular information on how it is set up. And again, if I can get this over here for you, it has for you the citation. And it shows you how to do the citation for this one. And so again, all that is offered for you. So I'm going to close that out. So again, you have links to information for you. So one more time, I want to go back over some points about writing your essay. It is an argument, which means it is a logical discussion. That also didn't publish. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. Excuse me for that one. I just noticed that it had not published, and it should have. You're writing a logical discussion in which you express a position on the topic, either for or against Texas establishing education savings accounts, also known as school vouchers, school savings accounts, or school choice. You're going to use information from sources to support your position. You will establish key points about that position. Why, if you're in favor, what reasons do you have showing that it is a good idea to embrace and that Texas should follow? You're going to have evidence for each of those reasons, and you will explain how that evidence pertains to the point. You will make certain that you are doing a discussion of those ideas. You will make sure that you are presenting those ideas in such a way that it is an objective, logical expression of the position. Not allowing your personal sentiments, not allowing other people's sentiments who are not qualified to discuss it. So you want to make sure you follow through with that you're keeping that idea intact. You want to avoid addressing the reader. Don't say, and you're going to find that when you do this, you'll see this. No, don't say that. That's not how you address. That's not how you argue. Do not use, we's. We often find ourselves looking at the issue. No, we do not. Let's discuss the issue. The issue of school vouchers has been addressed in the state of Texas. Legislatures have broached this. Other individuals, many parents have brought this forward. These parents have included, again, when I said many parents, well, which parents? These parents have included groups known as, and there are different groups that you can talk about. And again, I would cite that information. Where did that come from? How do I know that many parents, such as these parental groups, have brought this issue forward? How do I know that? Well, I would have read it in research, and I will cite it. So you're going to have to make sure that you do that. And then you're going to make sure that your essay fits the proper formatting. The example that I did earlier, header, your name, my name, put your title, tab over for your first paragraph, double space it, make sure that you have gone up here, and you're not going to have extra space between your paragraphs. If I do insert a page break, now you'll notice I'm at page 2, and my header has changed to page 2. And now I can keep working on page 2. So you want to make sure that you follow proper formatting. And again, I'm going to show you the rubric. Let me not save that one. When you go to the second essay assignment, again, submitting it to turn it in, you go below the handout, click the bar here. This is how I can get into showing you hopefully it hasn't changed anything. Yeah, it did. Okay. It does this all the time. Yes, this is one reason I'm looking at this, make sure that it's what it's supposed to do. We want to enable that one. We want to attach a rubric. Okay. It does this all the time. It likes to get rid of what you're supposed to have on here. So that's the rubric we're using it. And I'm going to show you this one. Apologize for the difficulty getting into these things. But this is just part of what we go through. This is your rubric. You will note over here that MLA format is generally followed. That's a 65, folks. That's a D. That's expected, but you still have some errors, maybe in the text or on the works cited page. So if there's any errors on the works cited page, more than 3, I click over here. If you have 5 or 6 errors, over here. If you do not double space your essay, if you do not format it correctly, I click here or over here. But you get an F if you do not format your essay right, which means what we were just looking at, tabbing over for your paragraphs, double spacing your essay, not having extra spaces between paragraphs. This is what you get. If you have 5 or more errors in punctuation, spelling, or capitalization, you get an F. You get clicked over here. If you have fragments or run-on sentences, you get an F. You're not supposed to have those, folks, in collegiate quality essays. If you do what you're supposed to do, you follow the MLA format for the most part, maybe 2 or 3 errors, that's a C, folks. That's acceptable. It's expected that you can follow MLA format. That's what a C is. It's acceptable. That's good writing. You have your logical progression of ideas. That's a C. If you have your points developed for the most part, no extraneous material, maybe a few small errors, that means no run-ons or anything like that, that's a C, folks. You have varied sentence style. You don't use questions, rhetorical questions, which are not part of an argument, folks. Don't pose a question unless you're going to provide the answer. You have control over the conventions. Maybe there's 2 or 3 errors, minor errors, not run-on sentences, etc. Folks, that is what we consider acceptable. And you get a C. That is what we get when you want to do it. With only 1 or 2 errors, that means, folks, when you look at your feedback, 1 or 2 of those blue marks, that's a B. When you get more than 2 or 3 blue marks, C, 4, 5, 6, down here to D, more than 5, 6, or 7, you have a fragment or a run-on, that's an F. Those are not to be in submissions for college-level writing. So you need to make sure that when you proofread your essay, and proofreading is important, which is why I want to sort of conclude this lecture with this particular point. When you proofread your essay, when you edit your essay, do so with a very careful eye. One technique that you can follow, and it really is important, proofread your essay, work on editing your essay by starting with the last sentence and then moving to the top. Too often when we start proofreading, we start at the beginning of our essay, we know what we have written, we know what we have said, we know what it says, and we just move quickly through it. You want to go back through the essay and make sure that every aspect is formatted correctly, that it conforms to standard American English, no slang expressions, no cliches, no common, and folks, in formal writing, you do not use contractions unless it's in quoted material. If the contraction is in the quoted material, that's out of your control. You're just quoting that source. But for the rest of your essay, you're writing formally. Do not use contractions. Do not use slang expressions. Do not, for instance, with the essay that you're working on, it's going to be talking about children in schools. Do not refer to children as kids. They are not baby goats. If the quoted material refers to students as kids, again, that's a quote. But you do not. Kids is slang. Likewise, the expression a lot is a slang term. And unless you're talking about a particular place where cars are to be parked, or some structure will be built, or a collection of objects probably intended for auction. That's what a space lot is. Otherwise, do not use it. And definitely do not use it as an adverb. And ladies and gentlemen, another situation, do not use the adjective pretty as an adverb. You do not do something pretty often. No, pretty is an adjective used to describe the appearance of someone or something. So folks, use of that kind of expression use of fragments, use of run-on sentences, get you down here on the rubric. So please make sure as you proofread it, as you go through your editing, that you pay close attention. Start with the last sentence and work your way up so that you're looking sentence by sentence, not rushing your way through it. Now, when you're revising the essay, and proofreading and editing is not revising. When you're revising your essay, look at the essay as a whole. Start from the beginning, go to the end. Pay attention to the details. Look at what evidence you've offered. Pay attention to how well you've explained that information. Have you offered an explanation? All that goes into it. And then, sort of to close this off, when you close your essay, folks, do not put in conclusion. Do not put in summary or to summarize. Folks, your conclusion should flow naturally from all the material that is in front of it, from all the information you've done. You should move smoothly into the ending of your essay. Do not put in conclusion. If you were giving a speech, you can use that phrase. Your listeners will not know that you're ending unless you offer that. Readers can tell when an essay is over. There are no more words. If readers start looking for more words, folks, then you didn't end your essay well. So conclusions should flow naturally from all the preceding information. Should offer that final comment on the topic. You do not have to announce it, so do not do so. So as you get through with your essay, proofread it carefully, edit it, make sure that you have gone through revision. That means draft it again, and draft it again, folks, until you're ready to submit it. Follow proper MLA formatting. I've shown you that. I'm going to go back to the screen here. There we go. So we have looked at proper MLA formatting. We have looked at details. We've shown you where to find your sources. And again, there are some other sources you could find. I'll try to figure out what happened to that article there. But these are all for you that you can use. Again, some of these show you some other ones that you can link to. And so that's useful for you. Move that over just a little bit. So you can see this side over here. And again, as you go through this, please note that you click here. That will open up the assignment. That'll open it up. You'll read over your topic. You can download this. Just click on that one. You'll download it. I've given you some details about that. I've given you access to the House bill right there. I've given you ideas that you need to keep in mind, what you need to do. I've pointed out again, I went and put this in here again, although it's listed in the modules earlier, about the use of AI material. Don't do it. Please do not do it. Make sure you're using evidence. Make sure you're citing evidence. Making sure that, again, all material drawn from sources have been cited in your essay. I did not necessarily push you all the way over on the rubric. If you'll notice on the rubric that we were looking at, plagiarism earns a 0. I did not necessarily use the 0 for some of you who did not cite your material. You may have had your sources listed, but you didn't cite. Instead, I put citation needed, and I marked you down for that one, but not necessarily all the way to the 0 that would actually have merited. So please make sure you cite your sources. So I'm looking forward to a good essay. If you have any questions, you can contact me, again, email. I know that maybe you overlooked the point. At the beginning of the semester, I had set up a Zoom meeting. I did say that it was optional. I did say no, that was recurrent, and that would be every Tuesday at 7:30. So far, no one over the first weeks of this semester has logged in. So I'm going to be discontinuing the Zoom sessions. There will not be one next week in case any of you were planning on logging in during week 7. There will not be one, but I will offer a follow-up video about this assignment and see if there's any questions that have come in. And if there are, I'll try to address those in that video. So again, we're looking forward to your essays. I know some of you have asked about could you revise, resubmit the first essay. Currently, there are no plans for that. Again, time-wise, we do not have much time left in this semester. And so, the idea about we have this one coming in just a couple of weeks. So we really do not have much time for you to be working on this one and trying to do another one. But I am considering another proposal, and I'll let you know about that one once I sort of have that one a little more firmly established, what I believe can work for us. So we'll see what we can do. So again, your topic this time is about school vouchers or education savings account or school choice, whichever term you prefer, because they're all basically the same thing. And again, education savings account is how I put it. And if you actually look here, I didn't show you this earlier, that takes you to a link and takes you back to this EdChoice one that I showed you earlier that I had a link to. I went in and put the link here as well. So you can actually click on this in the handout and it'll take you to that article. So it just sort of gives you a basic explanation of what education savings account. And then your school choice and also school vouchers. I have italicized for you to let you know what those are and how those actually pertain to this one. So again, I'm looking forward to your essays. I'll get this posted, and I will have it, I'll send you a message showing that it's posted. I will be posting this video, bear with it, under this particular area, and I will note it for you. That's going to be under the details about argument, and I'll post it right here at the bottom. So again, I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to read your essays.